Hello everyone! It's been about like 2 days since the last worst album ever made, so it's now time for me to do another one. But how am I gonna do that? Well, introducing the Wheel of Lame! Worst album ever made. Alright, so this right here is filled with lots of suggestions. And suggestions are from either our Patreons or suggestions that I never really wanted to cover. Because I thought it really wouldn't work for an episode. Like, we have The Residents not available. I've already done a Residents album, and I don't really know if I should do it, because it would feel like I was targeting The Residents specifically, but a lot of people really want me to do The Residents not available. So, I mean, this is your chance to finally do it. We have William Shatner on here. We have this one, Jandik, Ready for the House. We're going to see. I'm going to spin this, and whatever I land on, I'm going to dedicate the next month of my life to cover it. Oh God, okay. Time to spin the wheel. Alright. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, we're going to be doing Music from the Body, Roger Waters. Alright, that's what we're doing. I feel like that was a little anticlimactic, but here we are. Welcome back, everyone, to the worst album ever made. Alright, as you saw just a second ago, I just spun the Wheel of Lame and ended up with this. This is Music from the Body. This right here is a soundtrack to a 1970s medical documentary called The Body. And this soundtrack is special because it is made by two prolific songwriters, Ron Geesin and Mr. Roger Waters. And I hate to disappoint you all, but this isn't bad at all. Yeah, but why would it be? I mean, it's Ron Geesin and Roger Waters, and they both came together to make something for a movie with a wide release. It would be insane if they actually messed it up. They didn't, and that's how we got this right here. You know, it's extremely funny that Ron Geesin and Roger Waters are actually working together on this release, because it's actually not the only time they've worked together. Geesin was brought in to help Waters with his band that you might have heard of, Blue Floyd. It's such a stupid joke. Anyway, Geesin was brought in to help with the title track to Floyd's 1970 album, Atom Heart Mother. The album with the best album art out of any Blue Floyd album, do not at me. Atom Heart Mother and Music from the Body were made around the exact same time, and you can actually hear the similarities between this track and this whole release. So yeah, it's kinda cool. Anyway, that has nothing to do with this album. So you might be wondering, Garrett, why in the world would someone suggest this album to you if it is not as bad as you say it is? Well, the opening track might have something to do with it. The opening track is called Our Song. Our Song is a track that can turn a lot of people away. Because 80% of all the sounds you hear on the song is made up of just sounds you can make with the human body. So a lot of ham boning, some mouth squeaks, some belching, some farting, a lot of farting. I get what some people were probably thinking when they suggested this. They were like, what in the world? 45 minutes of just this? Oh, Garrett's gonna hate that. But nah, this is really the only one that sounds anything remotely like it. Which I think is weird because like when I look this album up on the Wikipedia, it talks about how most of the songs were made using sounds like belching and farting and heavy breathing, but not really. I think the song is pretty funny. And not just because I think farts are funny, because they're not. It is very off-putting hearing just farts going off like crazy in your ears. but I think it's a pretty funny tongue-in-cheek little track. And I also like the idea. The album's called Music from the Body, so it makes sense that the first track you hear is just music you can make from your body. So yeah, that's pretty much a win right there. One of the coolest things about this track is actually how it ends and how it transitions from this song to the next song, because all of the songs on this album, they all bleed in with each other, but this is the only one that really uses it to its benefit. So it starts off with someone breathing really heavy at the end. And then, when it fades out, the instrumental to the next track bleeds in, and then it turns from breathing to the sounds of the seashore. And that leads into the next track called Seashell and Stone. Alright, so this is one of the few tracks that Waters produced for the album. It is essentially the entire theme for the documentary The Body, and it's a very pretty and very sweet acoustic song.
Sunlight is warming the land before your eyes, and the sunrise is on your side.
Now, I'm not 100% sure on what the song is actually about. I assume it is about being born and talking about that, but the lyrics really don't give you a clear picture, but there are some lyrics that make me think about that, like, over the landscape, the mouth of a lifeline unfolds, the sunlight is warming the land before your eyes, sunrise is on your thighs. Like thinking at the light at the end of the tunnel of being born. So, something along those lines is what I'm thinking. I think it does its job well enough. I like the way it sounds. Yeah. What I originally was going to do, I was going to show off the documentary, and I was going to play you some scenes from the documentary to get the context of what each song was trying to show off. I couldn't find a copy of The Body. And it could just be my region, but I couldn't find it online either. And I searched for a while. I was like, come on, is there an online copy? And I think they used to be on YouTube, but all I have now are just clips. So that's all I can really show you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sprinkle throughout the video some clips of my own 1970s body documentary. So yeah, you can look forward to that. Alright, so instrumental tracks are the bulk of this entire album. Ron Geesin has a lot of them credited to him on this album. And it makes sense that there's a lot. It's a film score. It's being used in the background for whatever is being shown. That's why I'm going to showcase my own stuff throughout the video, so the background music has a chance to shine. But most of these tracks are pretty short, like the song Lick Your Partners. Yeah, they're all spread out throughout the album, but they do pack a punch. They are very, very good quality songs, and I feel like they have a good level of suspense and mystery, and when I hear it, I'm just like, man, I wish I could have seen how this was used in the film, because it sounds so cool. Anyway, I'm going to showcase one of those songs for you right now. I'm going to show you A Gentle Breeze Blew Through Life. have another track by Mr. Waters. It is Chain of Life.
Grow, baby, grow. Stand on your own.
This song is very simply talking about the stages of life, going from being born to getting a lot older. The song starts with the perspective of a child, from baby growing all the way up, and then it switches from the child's perspective to the child's parents' perspective on how their childhood was, and them reminiscing in the past and then telling the kids of the future about it. It is a very sweet and honest and another acoustic song by Mr. Waters.
Good time, lifetime. Good life.
Now this track is actually a little odd because it's coming from Waters, who I have not listened to all of his stuff, but usually when I hear a song written by him, it's a little twisted, a little cynical, or a little bit high concept. And that's not a dig on Waters or anything, that's just what I've noticed. So just hearing him having just a very sweet and happy song about growing old, like the fact that there's nothing pessimistic about his perspective on it is actually kind of cool. Because I don't know, I feel like that's rare. I don't know, I think this song's pretty nice. It sounds pretty nice. I wish there was more than just a regular acoustic. That's what was on the last Waters track. It's gonna be here for each one, but like, it sounds good. It sounds nice. It's nothing as well produced as anything you're gonna hear from The Wall. This is 1970s Waters. It's gonna be a while before he gets to that level. The instrumentals, man, are pretty fire. I really like in the album there's the womb bit thought, which does have some really cool pieces in there. I'm just like, man, I really wish I could have seen the film, because I want to hear it, because it has such good tension, and it makes me just wonder, what is going on? What am I not seeing? Anyway, there's another instrumental track I wanted to talk about briefly, which was More Than Seven Dwarves in Penis Land. Pretty much because the name's hilarious, but also it sounds hilarious. It sounds like you took one of those stethoscopes and then just pressed it against some guy's testes. And this is just the sound it was making. You just pressed your ear against it, and you're just like, okay. That's the sound that's making. Next track is probably the most striking out of the entire album. It's called Body Transport. This is gonna be really stupid. This is gonna be really stupid. Next track is called This is another one like our song, where like if you only listen to our song and this one back to back, you would probably write off the entire album as probably going to be a bad time. But no, I've been enjoying my time here on this journey, except for this little pit stop. It's not my favorite. You have very heavy breathing throughout the entire track. It is the main thing you hear. And in the background, you have some whispers of conversation between Geesin and Waters. And there is some moments where it is so loud, it'll make you jump out of your seat. Sounds like you put together a little just homebrew project that was only meant to be heard by like 5 people. But they decided, it'd be funny if we start the B-side to the album with this thing we just did while we were drunk. The next track is probably the best song off the album. It's Breathe by Roger Waters.
Breathe in the air.
Fantastic song. Now, before I start praising it, I'm going to say my biggest nitpick with it. One of the things I do not like as much is this song is the exact same instrumental as Seashell and Stone. Whether or not that was intentional or not, I do not know. If it was Roger Waters, though, I'm assuming it was intentional.
Spidery fingers of industry reach for the sky.
Breathe is an environmentalist song. It is a song that is criticizing big business and factories who are using their factories to pollute the air with their byproducts, and how that is killing the earth, and it's also making it hard for people to breathe, and people are dying and getting cancer from the stuff that they put into the air that we breathe in. It is really haunting. It has really good imagery about how evil some of these corporations are. It's such a really cool little song. Really though, I think like maybe with a little bit more production, this could have gone on any Blue Floyd album. It is very nice. So yeah, Breathe gets my recommendation. The last song is a very special treat because it features all of the 1970s Blue Floyd band members. And also, we have a lovely female singer on board coming together to make the big ballad for the end of the whole thing. Unfortunately, the female singer was not credited on this song right here. And also, funnily enough, the only Floyd member that's even talked about on this album is Roger Waters. All the other Floyd members are just not present in any of the credits, which is kind of weird. The song is called Give Birth to a Smile.
Long live the child and the man. Long live the mother and the land.
And it was pretty disappointing, because I really thought all the Floyd members are here. You got Geesin too. This should be like a freaking home run combination. but it really isn't anything special, and that's really sad. The beginning of the track, I think, is pretty good, and I'm like, oh, there's a lot of potential here. And then the chorus kicks in, and then the chorus doesn't leave.
Give birth to a smile. Everybody, give birth to a smile. Give birth to a smile.
And then it just keeps doing that until it fades out, and I'm like, that sucks. I really thought there was gonna be something special. Now, I wasn't expecting freaking Wish You Were Here. I wasn't expecting a wall outtake. I just expected something. Since you have the entire band here, I thought you would do something a little more crazier than just that. But it doesn't ruin the album anything. I don't want you to think that. This album's still pretty dang good. I did have a lot of fun listening to it. So yes, this has been Music from the Body. Very, very interesting album. I think it was a very fun ride. Geesin's work is awesome, and Roger Waters is usually quality, but like Geesin, he shines in this album. He was my favorite part of the whole thing. Thank you so much for suggesting your stuff. I will be doing another wheel episode in the future, but right now just thank you so much for watching. Thank you to my patrons. If you want to go and support me on Patreon, I give you sneak peeks and some exclusive content over there. If you are interested, you can support me in the link below. Thank you so much for anyone who suggested this album. It was a blast. Have a good day. Drink your milk. If you're lactose intolerant, don't drink milk. Drink almond milk. I have mine with vanilla.